even though it's winter, they still have about 2 liters of milk with once a day milking. And in summer that comes to over 3 liters of milk per goat, so I end up with between 6 and 8 liters of milk in summer and about 4 in winter. So that's quite a bit of milk for a couple of goats. When you imagine there's a 60 to 80 kilo animal and it produces that much goodness, it's I find that quite astonishing. And in lots of herding cultures, that is exactly what keeps people alive, that extra source of protein in the form of milk and cheese, or in the form of milk and fermented milk products. That is people in mountainous regions of Europe, that is people in near desert areas where goats do well. Goats need 2 liters of water a day, even if they're producing quite good quantities of milk. A cow needs between 80 and 120 or so. So this is still slightly warm, not quite blood temperature. My guess, without measuring it, would be something around 20 degrees. And that's fine for what we want to do. I got some kefir. So this is kefir that doesn't have the culture in it, that has been drained already. And I give these 6 liters of milk just a good slurp of kefir. And that is the culture, that is the culture that initiates the cheese. And then I only need a half a drop per liter of milk for these, and I'm using a vegetable rennet. And so for 6 liters of milk, I'm only using 3 drops of rennets with it. This is a liquid vegetable rennet that isn't hugely strong. I'm going to stir the milk anti-clockwise and just drop the rennet in while I'm stirring. Just a gentle stir of the rennet, mixing the rennet and the starter culture with the fresh milk. And then all it needs to do is just rest, and the right conditions for these organisms to turn this milk into a pudding, and what we call a pudding, like the firm part of the cheese making and the whey. These other critters in the pot will do all that for me, as long as the temperature stays at about room temperature. So I'm just gonna keep it all in the kitchen, and I'll cover it up with a clean tea towel and then put a lid on, leave that lid a little bit open so it just wants to breathe. It just wants to breathe a little bit. Tea towel and lid, and it can rest from here. So tomorrow, similar time, I will ladle it into the cheese shapes, or I could also hang it in a cloth for fromage frais, or I could ladle it into the pot holes for Faisselle.